All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going deep into the world of natural remedies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, specifically poultices and home remedies,
Okay.
based on a lecture by Barbara O'Neill.
Okay, I've heard of her.
Yeah, she's a big advocate for natural healing, and she's got some really interesting ideas.
Awesome.
So have you ever heard of poultices?
Vaguely. Like, I think I have,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I could really tell you exactly what it is.
So there are these little packages of vegetable matter that you apply to like different parts of your body for healing.
Oh, cool.
And it's amazing, like the variety of everyday ingredients that are used.
Like what? What kind of stuff?
We're talking onions, potatoes, even charcoal.
Wow.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too carried away, I do want to say
Yeah.
that while Barbara's advice is really insightful,
Mm,
it's important to remember that natural remedies aren't a replacement for professional medical advice when needed.
absolutely.
You got to keep that in mind.
Especially for anything serious, you want to consult a doctor for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's start with onions.
Oh.
Barbara shares this interesting fact. Onions can actually absorb odors.
Oh,
Like, you know how cutting onions makes your eyes water?
Yeah.
That onion juice can actually have a similar effect on your respiratory system, helping to thin and clear mucus.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I had no idea.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
And that principle applies to both cooked and raw onions, but they're
Raw.
used for different purposes.
Okay.
So Barbara suggests cooked onion poultices are excellent for localized issues like earaches and boils.
Interesting.
But she says, instead of boiling the onion, you should steam it or bake it,
Oh, okay.
because boiling can actually reduce some of those healing properties.
Oh, that makes sense.
And it's that soothing, moist heat that helps alleviate the pain and the inflammation.
Oh, yeah.
She even tells a story about this man who used a cooked onion poultice on a boil inside his nose
Whoa.
and experienced significant relief.
I can't imagine that, though. Like, I would think the smell of the onion would be just overpowering.
Well, maybe it's the heat that kind of overpowers it,
Yeah.
but it speaks to the power of those simple remedies, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you wonder, like, how are these things discovered in the first place?
Yeah, how did they even figure that out?
I know, right?
Trial and error, I guess, right?
So we've got cooked onion for localized issues, but then Barbara says applying a raw onion poultice to the soles of your feet
What?
can help with respiratory issues like colds and coughs.
Really?
Yeah, so that one really surprised me.
On your feet?
I know.
Why? Right.
What is the knife?
But apparently it's because the soles of your feet have those large pores, and applying the onion there allows its properties to be absorbed into the body where they can target those respiratory symptoms.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so there's like a logic behind it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's fascinating how these remedies leverage the body's own systems for healing.
And she even shares some pretty compelling anecdotes.
Yeah.
Like a 3-year-old child who stopped coughing after using the onion poultice.
Oh, wow.
And another woman used it to help a fellow camper who was coughing all night.
That's awesome. I mean, if it
Yeah.
works, it works right.
Exactly right. So
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking of simple remedies, she also has a recipe for onion cough syrup.
Really?
Yeah.
Like onion-flavored cough syrup.
Well, it's pretty easy. You just layer sliced onions and honey in a jar, and within a half hour, you have a syrup.
Oh. That's really simple.
Yeah.
But does it taste okay?
Well, honey is known for its soothing properties for sore throats, and then the onion adds its decongestant effects.
Okay, so it's not like a traditional cough syrup. It's actually meant to be, like, palatable.
I think so, yeah.
Huh.
She even suggests adding garlic and ginger for a more potent syrup.
Wow, that's a lot of flavors going on.
I know, maybe a little strong for some.
Yeah.
Let's move on to castor oil compresses. So Barbara talks about how castor oil has this unique property of penetrating deeply.
Okay.
It can break up congestion and adhesions in the body.
Oh, wow.
And she really emphasizes preventing leaks when you're preparing the compress, because that can get messy.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Castor oil has a really long history in traditional medicine. It's been used for so many things: tumors, cysts, even breast cancer and fibroids.
Really?
She mentions a woman who claimed to have conquered breast cancer using castor oil compresses.
Wow.
Another woman used them with wild yam cream to treat a fibroid. And she also suggests castor oil for bone spurs, sore joints, congested chests, constipation, gallstones, liver health, even kidney stones.
That's a lot of applications.
I know. It seems like it's good for just about anything.
Yeah, I guess with anecdotal evidence, you have to be careful.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is interesting to think about, how these remedies have been used for so long.
Right.
And maybe there is something to it. Like maybe it does promote healing by increasing circulation or lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
About the scientific basis for all of these traditional remedies.
It's fascinating, for sure.
Okay, let's move on to another potent ingredient, garlic.
Okay.
Barbara calls it a powerful antibiotic, even comparing its strength to tetracycline.
Oh, wow.
She suggests eating about 3 cloves a day.
Okay.
Now, that's a bold statement.
Sure.
I love garlic, but 3 cloves a day might be a bit much for me.
That's a lot of garlic breath.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you can't handle that much garlic?
Well, she actually offers some creative ways to incorporate it into your diet.
Oh, okay.
She suggests grating it into soup or mixing it with olive oil for baked potatoes.
That sounds good.
Right?
Yeah.
She even mentions an antibiotic sandwich.
What's in that?
Sourdough bread, olive oil, garlic, avocado, and tomato.
That actually sounds pretty good.
I know, right? It's a reminder that natural remedies can be incorporated into everyday meals, making those healthy choices a little bit more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you're feeling a little under the weather,
Yeah.
Barbara has just the thing. It's called the flu bomb.
The flu bomb.
I know.
What is that?
It sounds intense.
Yeah.
So basically, it's this potent concoction for various respiratory issues.
Okay.
She says it can help with bronchitis, asthma, the flu,
Whoa.
pleurisy, pneumonia, sinus infections, even head colds.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah, quite the list.
Yeah.
So what's in this flu bomb?
I'm almost afraid to ask.
I know. It combines garlic, ginger, eucalyptus or tea tree oil, cayenne pepper, lemon juice, and honey, all mixed with hot water.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So you're saying potent is an understatement.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you probably need to adjust the amounts based on your tolerance.
Definitely, especially for the garlic and the cayenne pepper.
Yeah. Too much of that could be interesting.
Yeah. But it's a great point because while these natural remedies can be really effective, it's so crucial to listen to your body and use them responsibly.
Right. Like start small and see how you feel.
Exactly. And it's important to be mindful of our individual needs and sensitivities.
For sure.
Now, what about using these remedies for babies?
Oh, that's a good question.
I imagine something as potent as the flu bomb wouldn't be suitable.
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't even consider it.
Right.
Yeah.
So Barbara actually addresses that.
Oh,
And she offers a safer alternative for babies, which is applying thinly sliced garlic to the bottom of their feet.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, it utilizes those large pores on the feet to absorb the garlic's beneficial properties, but without overwhelming their delicate system.
Well, that makes sense.
I always think it's best to consult with a pediatrician
Absolutely.
before using any remedies on infants.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Exactly. Always better to err on the side of caution. So Barbara also stresses the importance of addressing the underlying cause of recurring health issues.
Right.
She uses an example of her son, James, who experienced frequent chest colds.
Boy.
But it turned out that living in a swampy area was actually contributing to his chest problems.
Really?
Once they moved away from the swamp, his chest colds vanished.
Wow, so it was the environment the whole time.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Makes you think about all the subtle ways our environment impacts our well-being, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always obvious.
Okay, let's move on to another versatile ingredient, potatoes.
Potatoes?
Yeah. Barbara describes them as a gentle drawing agent.
Okay.
And they're perfect for sensitive areas where onion, ginger, or garlic might be too harsh.
That makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, potatoes have that soothing, cooling effect.
Exactly.
So I could see that being good for certain things.
And she specifically mentions their effectiveness for inflamed eyes, conjunctivitis, sprained ankles, and even ingrown toenails.
Wow. Potatoes can do all that.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
She even offers a mess-free way to prepare a potato poultice using plastic wrap and a cloth.
Oh, okay.
But she emphasizes not using too much potato to prevent leakage,
Yeah, that makes sense.
because nobody wants a soggy mess.
Right.
She shares several anecdotes about the effectiveness of potato poultices.
Okay.
So, for instance, she successfully used one to remove a splinter from her finger.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of using a potato for that.
I know, right?
But it makes sense, I guess.
It's pretty amazing what simple things can do.
Yeah, for sure.
And her son, William, also had a piece of wood lodged in his foot for 2.5 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
She diligently applied potato poultices, along with hot and cold therapy, and eventually the splinter came out.
That's pretty amazing it took that long.
I know. And then there's the story of William's son, Sonny, who stepped on a rusty nail.
Ouch.
So apparently, potato poultices helped draw out the metal shavings and aided in healing.
Wow, so they really can draw things out.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
I know, it's amazing to think that something as simple as a potato could have that kind of effect.
You wouldn't think it, but it's true.
It makes you wonder about the mechanisms at play, right?
Yeah, what's going on there?
So she really emphasizes that these remedies don't just mask the symptoms, they actually contribute to the body's natural healing process.
Oh,
It's like they're giving the body a little extra support to do what it does best, heal itself.
That's a good way to think about it.
Okay, let's shift our focus to ginger.
Okay.
Barbara highlights it as a potent anti-inflammatory agent, particularly for joint inflammation.
Oh, yeah, ginger's good for that.
And she recommends applying ginger poultices in the evening because they can generate quite a bit of heat.
Oh, okay.
And that heat can actually be therapeutic,
Yeah, I could see that.
helping to relax those muscles and increase blood flow to the affected area.
It's like a heating pad, but natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she shares this remarkable story about a barrister who had been suffering from gout in his toe for 18 months. And after just one ginger poultice, the pain was gone.
Really?
Yeah. And his toe was back to normal.
That's amazing.
I know, it's pretty incredible to think that such a simple remedy could have that kind of effect.
Right, just one application.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But as Barbara points out, it's also essential to address the root cause of the problem.
Right, of course.
So in the barrister's case, his diet was a contributing factor to his gout.
Oh, okay.
And after hearing a lecture on acid-alkaline balance, he decided to make some changes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a great reminder that sometimes those lifestyle changes are necessary to achieve that lasting relief.
Definitely. It's not always just about the quick fix.
Exactly. It's about understanding the interplay between our lifestyle choices and our health.
Totally.
So speaking of lifestyle choices, let's move on to cayenne pepper.
Okay.
Barbara calls it a remarkable herb with a wide range of benefits.
Yeah, I've heard good things about cayenne pepper.
So she highlights its ability to thin the blood, rebuild heart muscle, strengthen arterial walls, and even act as a blood stimulant, promoting healing.
That's quite the resume.
I know, right? It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
She also suggests using it for sore throats and low hydrochloric acid.
Interesting.
She even mentions that cayenne pepper can enhance the effectiveness of other herbs when used together.
Really? Like a booster?
Yeah, almost like a synergy happening.
That's fascinating.
I know, it makes you wonder how much we still have to learn about these natural remedies.
Absolutely. I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Okay, she also provides instructions on how to make a cayenne pepper compress using olive or castor oil, cayenne pepper, cling wrap, and kitchen paper.
Okay.
And she suggests using it to improve circulation, especially for people with cold feet or peripheral neuropathy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But she does caution against using it on people with numbness in their extremities.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Because the heat could potentially cause damage without them feeling it.
Right. They wouldn't know.
It's a good point. It highlights the importance of using these remedies responsibly and considering those individual sensitivities.
Absolutely. Safety first.
Okay, last but not least, Barbara discusses charcoal.
Charcoal.
I know, right?
Interesting.
So she introduces it as a powerful absorbent and a neutralizer of poisons.
Oh, wait.
She mentions its internal use for poisoning and diarrhea, and its external application for stings and bites.
So you're saying I should keep some charcoal in my medicine cabinet?
It's a good idea. Seems like it could be pretty useful in a pinch.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So she explains this mess-free way to create a charcoal poultice using psyllium husk or ground flax seed and water.
Okay.
And she suggests mixing those ingredients in a sealed plastic bag and rolling it out for easy storage and application.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Makes it easy to use.
Exactly. To make it even easier, she recommends keeping pre-made charcoal poultices in the fridge or freezer for immediate use.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like ready to go.
So stings, bites, even sore eyes.
Wow. So many uses.
It's like having a mini first aid kit right in your kitchen, ready to tackle any unexpected situation.
I love it. It's like being prepared for anything.
And it's amazing how something as humble as charcoal can have such powerful healing properties.
Right. It's pretty incredible.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
It's fascinating to see how many simple, natural remedies are out there.
Absolutely. And they're so easy to make.
Exactly. It really does make you think about the wisdom of traditional healing practices.
And how much we can learn from them.
Yeah, and how we can incorporate them into our modern lives.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, I'm excited.
We'll delve even deeper into Barbara's insights on natural healing.
Great. Yeah, it is remarkable how versatile charcoal is. And it kind of makes you think about this theme in Barbara's lecture.
What's that?
This idea of harnessing the power of simple, natural ingredients.
Oh, yeah.
It's like rediscovering this ancient wisdom and applying it to our modern lives.
I know. It's so interesting how these age-old remedies are still relevant today.
Totally.
And it's not just the ingredients themselves, it's also the techniques and the principles behind them.
Yeah.
Like how she emphasizes observation and adjusting the remedies based on individual needs.
Right, exactly.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to how your body's responding.
Exactly.
And adjust accordingly.
She gives an example of a woman who applied a grated potato poultice to her daughter's foot after she stepped on a rusty nail.
Oh, yeah.
But after an hour, the foot was still sore and swollen.
Oh.
So Barbara advised adding hot and cold therapy and reapplying the poultice.
Oh, interesting.
And the swelling and pain subsided, and the little girl was back to laughing.
Wow, so it worked.
Yeah, but it's a good reminder that sometimes you need to adjust your approach and try different combinations to find what works best.
Yeah, like having a toolkit of natural remedies.
Exactly.
And knowing when to use each one.
Now, she also acknowledges that if those remedies aren't providing relief, it's crucial to seek professional medical attention.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's about finding that balance, right?
Yes, definitely.
Between natural remedies and conventional medicine.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of observation,
Yeah.
there's another point in her lecture that really resonated with me.
What's that?
She talks about the importance of not just addressing the symptoms,
Right.
but also understanding the root cause of an issue.
Yeah, like why is this happening in the first place?
Exactly.
Not just putting a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
You got to get to the bottom of it.
She uses the example of her son, William, remember, with the splinter in his foot.
Oh, yeah, with the potato poultice.
She diligently applied those potato poultices for 2.5 weeks.
Oh.
But when she realized the splinter was still lodged in there,
Oh, no.
she intensified the treatment, adding that hot and cold therapy
Okay.
and applying the poultices more frequently.
Wow, so she really went for it. That's dedication.
And it paid off. The
Yeah.
splinter eventually came out and William's foot healed beautifully.
That's great.
And it's also fascinating how these remedies can work in conjunction with conventional medicine.
Yeah.
So, for example, while they were applying the potato poultice to Sonny's foot after he stepped on that rusty nail,
Right.
they were still mindful of the potential for infection.
Of course, yeah.
So it's a perfect example of a balanced approach,
Right.
utilizing those natural remedies alongside professional medical advice.
Absolutely. The best of both worlds.
Now let's talk about ginger.
Okay. Ginger.
Barbara emphasizes its effectiveness for joint inflammation,
Right.
specifically recommending it for gout and arthritis.
Yeah. Ginger is great for inflammation.
Why is that?
Well, it has these potent anti-inflammatory properties that can help reduce pain and swelling in the joints.
Oh, okay.
So it's a go-to remedy for a lot of people seeking natural relief.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And she recommends applying ginger poultices in the evening as they can generate quite a bit of heat.
Right. Which can be quite therapeutic, helping to relax those muscles
Nah.
and increase blood flow to the affected area.
Yeah, like a natural heating pad.
Exactly.
Nice.
So she shares this really remarkable story about a barrister who had been suffering from gout in his toe for 18 months.
Oh, wow.
And after just one ginger poultice, the pain was gone
Really?
and his toe was back to normal.
Just like that.
I know. It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
But as Barbara points out, it's also important to address that root cause of the issue.
Oh, wait. Of course.
So in the barrister's case, his diet was contributing to his gout.
Oh, okay.
And after hearing a lecture on acid-alkaline balance, he decided to make some changes.
That's great.
So it's a great reminder that sometimes lifestyle changes are necessary for that lasting relief.
It's not always a quick fix, but it's worth it in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's about understanding that interplay between our lifestyle choices and our health.
totally.
Speaking of lifestyle choices, let's move on to cayenne pepper.
Okay, cayenne pepper spice. Barbara calls it a remarkable herb with a wide range of benefits.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about cayenne pepper.
So she highlights its ability to thin the blood, rebuild heart muscle, strengthen arterial walls, and even act as a blood stimulant, promoting healing.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know, it's a real multitasker.
Yeah, it seems like it.
She also suggests using it for sore throats and low hydrochloric acid.
Oh, wow.
And she even mentions that cayenne pepper can enhance the effectiveness of other herbs when used together,
Really?
almost like a booster.
That's fascinating.
So she also provides instructions on how to make a cayenne pepper compress using olive or castor oil, cayenne pepper, cling wrap, and kitchen paper.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this can be used to improve circulation, especially for those with cold feet or peripheral neuropathy.
Oh, that makes sense.
But she cautions against using it on people with numbness in their extremities
Right. Yeah.
because the heat could potentially cause damage without them feeling it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a good reminder to always exercise caution
Definitely.
when applying any remedy, especially those involving heat.
Especially heat, yeah.
Okay, let's conclude our exploration of Barbara's remedies with a fascinating ingredient, charcoal.
Charcoal, okay.
It's known for its powerful absorbent properties.
Yeah, it's like it can bind to anything.
Exactly. And it binds to those toxins and prevents them from being absorbed by the body.
Right.
So making it a valuable remedy for poisoning and diarrhea.
Yeah, I've heard that.
She also mentions its effectiveness for external application on stings and bites.
Oh, really?
So it's like having this natural detoxifier right at your fingertips.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
She explains this mess-free way to create a charcoal poultice using psyllium husk or ground flaxseed and water.
Okay.
And she suggests mixing those ingredients in a sealed plastic bag, rolling it out for easy storage and application.
Smart.
And to make it even easier, she recommends keeping pre-made charcoal poultices in the fridge or freezer for immediate use.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So stings, bites, even sore eyes.
Wow, so many uses.
It's like having a mini first aid kit right in your kitchen, ready to address any unexpected situation.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how something as humble as charcoal can have such powerful healing properties.
Right. I know, it's pretty impressive.
Now, as we move into the final part of our deep dive,
Yeah?
I'm curious to hear your overall thoughts on Barbara O'Neill's approach to natural healing.
Well, what strikes me is this combination of practicality and wisdom.
Yeah,
She presents these remedies in a way that's both accessible and insightful.
right.
It's not just giving us recipes. She's teaching us how to harness the body's innate healing abilities
Right.
and work with nature to support our well-being.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it really is that blend of like ancient wisdom and practical application
Right?
that makes her approach so compelling.
Totally.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into her lecture on natural remedies,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Let me see.
What do you think will resonate most with them?
I think the emphasis on simplicity and accessibility,
Oh, yeah.
like you don't need fancy ingredients or complicated procedures. It's really about utilizing what nature provides and trusting the body's inherent ability to heal.
Yeah.
It's kind of empowering
It is.
to realize that we often have what we need to support our well-being,
Right.
right, in our kitchens.
I love how she encourages us to be active participants in our own healing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's not about blindly following recipes. It's about observation,
Yes,
listening to your body,
for sure.
and adjusting those remedies accordingly.
Totally.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Nope.
It's about finding what works best for you.
Exactly.
And she's also very clear that these remedies aren't meant to replace professional medical advice,
Absolute.
but rather to empower you to explore those natural solutions
Right.
and work in conjunction with your healthcare provider
Yeah.
to achieve optimal well-being.
The best of both worlds.
It's about having a range of tools in your toolkit, right? And knowing when to use each one.
Exactly.
So another important takeaway, I think, is this emphasis on addressing the root cause of health issues.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's not just about treating those symptoms, but understanding why those symptoms are arising in the first place.
Right.
And making those necessary lifestyle or environmental changes to support that lasting healing.
Totally.
Right. Whether it's making dietary changes, adjusting those environmental factors, or simply slowing down and reducing stress.
Yeah, all those things.
Sometimes those simple adjustments can have a profound impact on our health.
Absolutely. They really can.
It's about taking a step back and looking at that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Considering all those factors that contribute to our overall well-being.
Exactly.
So as we conclude this deep dive, what's one final thought-provoking question that we can leave our listeners with?
Okay, good question.
What can we encourage them to reflect on? What do you think?
How about this? What's one small step you can take today to incorporate these simple natural remedies into your life.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe it's trying a potato poultice for a minor ailment or adding more garlic and ginger to your meals.
Yeah.
Every journey begins with a single step.
That's beautifully said.
Thanks.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
Sometimes those small, consistent actions can make the biggest difference.
For sure.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more we learn about these time-tested remedies and the body's innate healing abilities, the more empowered we become to take control of our health and well-being.
That's the goal.
So until next time, stay curious.
Yeah.
Explore nature's abundance and
Keep
keep those minds and bodies thriving.
See you next time. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.